platforms. I will be making a totally different video explaining this, so stay tuned for that. Yep, I'm at it again. In my last video, as you just saw, I said I would do a whole separate video on how canyons changed for the better. Well, here that video is. Go watch my other video after this one and enjoy. On April 17th, 2021, Gorilla Tag players were greeted with a new map, the Canyons. This was a huge update. The canyons were massive. Caves was added before this, but it was nothing compared to the sheer size of canyons.
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Behind you, by the way.
Like I'm actually here. Nice. Oh, it is really bright though. Jesus.
So hard here.
When Canyons was first added, it didn't look quite like the canyons we all remember. First, the walls were shorter, there was no ambience, no boxes on the side of the walls, and many more small differences. These were mostly because the game was still in a beta mode. Once Canyons was released live to the whole game, many of the structures and features were added. These structures consist of wooden boxes on the side of the walls, a small ladder or staircase built into the wall leading to the highest positioned wooden box in the map, different colored walls in certain places around the map, higher walls, and speakers that provide the map's ambience. All in all, when it came out, Canyons was a huge deal. When it came out. After Canyons came out, like everything, the hype around it started to fade, with less and less people going into it. This would all escalate when seasonal updates came around. Halloween, nothing. Fall, nothing. Christmas, nothing. You name it, any update, there still was nothing. Because of this hiatus in development, Canyons became a dead map, with nothing interesting to offer. Also, there were no mini-games that fully involved it. When it came down to it, there was nothing truly good about this map. Sure, some people still thought it was the best map, but that was a small little percentage of players. Canyon stayed like this for a while, especially with the new maps like City and Mountains being added, claiming way more fun and mechanics that Canyons never did. The map was dead. Until Halloween 2022. When Gorilla Tag got its 2022 update, many places and things changed, including canyons. When entered, you can immediately see a huge spiderweb stretching throughout the entire map. In addition to that, a jack-o'-lantern. Sure, this update wasn't game-changing, but it was something. The first time the map had been touched in over a year. In the fall update of 2022, the map changed again. First, the giant spiderweb above the map turned into a big cluster of massive ropes, covering more ground than the web did. The jack-o'-lantern was removed and was replaced by an oddly shaped wooden structure. We didn't know this at the time, but this was a foreshadow to something much bigger. When this update came out, people were actually starting to use canyons a lot more, including myself. It isn't as popular as it is now, but at least it's something. Christmas of the same year added something else as well. Though it wasn't crazy, it still was an update. Christmas lights and ornaments were scattered throughout the map, as well as there being a mini Christmas tree with little monkeys around it. For the first time as well, snow was added on top of certain grounds. Another notable feature is that on the opposite side of the map from the entrance, a rope was hung down to the floor, another indication of what was to come next.
Thank you. Canyon has been bad for like 14.
Not much came in the winter update, except for an ice structure built up on top of another canyon top. There was still a good amount of snow, but that was really it. Once spring came along, the snow melted, and there was no more changes for a while. Until something massive. On May 5th, 2023, Gorilla Tag released its Wild West update. This brought in a new set of cosmetics, including a household object flashback from the prior year. Most importantly, though, canyons got a massive revamp. 2 new mechanics and a lot more places to go. First of all, half of the canyons itself was stripped away, resulting in a ravine filled with many wooden platforms, boxes, and much more. Remember how I was talking about that rope earlier? Yeah, it's still there. But there are so many more everywhere. All the ropes hang from the massive ropes on top of the map, the same way the ornaments did in the Christmas update. These ropes added a new mechanic of swinging from side to side. You could abuse this by swinging out of the map, but that's patched now and I wouldn't try it. Another mechanic added was the zipline. If you look up onto the lower part of the slippery walls in the canyons, you'll see a rope stretched up all the way across the map. This makes for a very fun escape route. When all these objects, like the platforms, the boxes, the ropes, the zip lines, etc., come together, it makes it for a very fun and interesting map. Oh, did I even mention the wooden barrels? Yeah, this update was huge, not for the map, but for the game itself. This, of course, made Canyons a very hyped and well-respected map, making it now one of the most played in the game. I am personally finding myself playing this map 50% of the time I play Gorilla Tag. The perfect mode in the game that I think is competitive hunt mode at night in canyons. Trust me, it's worth it. Since the Wild West update, the map hasn't changed at all, but it doesn't matter. The map doesn't need to be changed. It's perfect the way it is now. It's almost shocking how radically different canyons became in such time. At some points, people thought canyons would never see any form of update ever, but it did. And the time for the update was so worth it. But what's next for canyons? Well, we don't know. It's hard to tell. But what we do know is that the update itself did satisfy us Gorilla Tag fans for now. In the end, the Wild West update, released on May 5th, 2023, is how Canyons became the best map in Gorilla Tag. For now. Hey guys, it's Dominus. Just like my last outro, my last video, to anyone who watched this, thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to make a video like this for a long time. Last video, but I feel like I could have put a bit more effort into it. So I've tried to put as much effort as I could into this video. It's a little bit shorter, but I still tried to cram as much information as I could. Also, to anyone who watched my last video, thank you. I appreciate the support. The channel has been growing, I guess, well, or better than it has all summer, basically. It's not like huge, but you know, it's a step in the right direction. And I really appreciate anyone who's taken the time out of the day to watch either my last video or this video. It really means a lot. Trust me. I've been trying to do content creation since I was like 7 years old. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you guys have a great day.